They took our beautiful bench.
This is where we waited for Jussie to come before we attacked him.
Now at 5:30, WGN has obtained surveillance video of those two brothers buying items likely used in the alleged attack.
Let's go to Tom Negevin, who's live on the north side with that story. Tom.
That's right, and that part of the story, Micah and Joe, does pertain to those brothers, the Osundairo Brothers, who've been talking to police and prosecutors at 26 and Cal, the Cook County Criminal Courthouse. We know they're there today. We know now where they were on Monday, January 28th, just hours before Jussie Smollett reported a hate crime in the Streeterville neighborhood. Take a look at the video of them on that day here in the Uptown neighborhood at a beauty supply shop. What you're seeing them purchase are a couple of balaclavas or ski masks, along with some gloves that they bought at this nondescript shop in Uptown, and a red cap. Specifically, we're told by staff here, they sought out those items. They don't sell a whole lot of ski masks here, they tell me, but these two brothers seem very eager to pick them up and seemed very urgent about that, according to a store security guard who tells me the brothers stood out in his mind. He had questions about their purchases, about what they were doing there, and, well, he believes he knows the answers now.
So we got here with 10 minutes to spare, and we had to plan our escape route to survey the land. His building is actually right here.
And look, this video shows one of the brothers doing handstands on a treadmill in the gym in Jussie Smollett's apartment building.
Right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m. sharp.
On the dot.
On the dot. We had no phones because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, what, 4 minutes?
It was about 4 minutes,
4 minutes.
But it felt like forever.
Because it was cold as balls.
And it is cold outside. A dangerous and deadly polar vortex is sweeping the coldest air in a generation into the country's midsection. The upper Midwest will face temperatures 20 to 40 degrees lower than normal today. Wind chills are as low as -65 in parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Chicago will be colder today than parts of the Arctic Circle.
So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go.
I went to the subway and got the order. During that time, I texted my manager thinking that he was still in Australia because he was on an Australian tour with one of his other clients. And I said, yo, call me when you can. He called me immediately. And while he was on the phone, I heard, as I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire. And I don't answer to Empire. My name ain't Empire.
We gotta go get this Empire fat. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Is that him?
That's that Nick.
That's that Nick.
Get that Nick.
Oh, he's moving fast. Come on, let's get him.
Get that Nick.
My name ain't Empire. And I didn't answer. I kept walking, and then I heard Empire.
Let's get him. As we crossed the street, we said hey to get his attention.
Hey, Nick.
Hey. He turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. Hey,
aren't you that Empire?
Hey, Empire fat Nick. It's MAGA country. Yeah. And then he said, what did you say to me?
So I turned around and I said, did you just say to me? And I see the attacker masked, and he said, this MAGA country. Yeah. Punches me right in the face.
And then that's when I threw the first punch at him. I held the blow because I didn't want to hurt him, of course. So I made it look real, but I held it. Then we started tussling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him.
So I punched his ass back. And then we started tussling. You know, it was very icy. And we ended up tussling by the stairs.
Moving around.
Fighting. There was a second person involved who was kicking me in my back. And then it just stopped.
because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that, and then I threw him to the ground, and after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this. Why did I do that? To give him a scar, to give him a mark, to make it look real, like he really did get his ass beat. After I did that, I fake kicked him. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
That's where I came around with the bleach, the infamous bleach in the hot sauce bottle, poured it on his shirt. Then I finally put the rope around his face. I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face, and that's when we took off.
And they ran off, and I saw where they ran. And the phone was in my pocket, but it had fallen out, and it was sitting there, and my manager was still on the phone. So I picked up the phone, and I said, Brandon, and he's like, what's going on? And I said, I was just jumped. And then I looked down, and I see that there's a rope around my neck, which I hadn't,
obviously. You hadn't noticed it before?
No,
you didn't
because
see?
It was so fast, you know what I'm saying? It was so fast.
Rope around his face, I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face.
How long did this all
It felt like minutes, but it probably was like 30 seconds, honestly. I can't tell you, honestly. I noticed the rope around my neck, and I started screaming. And I said, there's a rope around my neck.
The investigation broke wide open after these two bodybuilding brothers, Abel and Ola Osundairo, reportedly accused Smollett of rehearsing the attack and paying them $3,500 plus an additional $500 when they returned from a trip to Nigeria. This is the Crafty Beaver hardware store in Chicago, where the brothers reportedly say Smollett directed them to buy the rope that was made into a noose and put around the actor's neck.
Apparently, this is where the suspects bought the rope that Jussie Smollett described.
Ola was an extra on Smollett's show Empire, playing a prisoner in this scene with Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard.
I love the game. I love the hustle, man.
This is Ola's audition tape, and he doesn't just act tough. We've learned that Ola pled guilty to aggravated battery in 2011. He's also appeared in the TV show Chicago PD. There are other intriguing connections between Smollett and the brothers. Inside Edition found this video of Abel working out to a Jussie Smollett song. He even tagged Jussie on Instagram, Jussie Smollett. Ha ha, I love you. And look, this video shows one of the brothers doing handstands on a treadmill in the gym in Jussie Smollett's apartment building. Police say the two brothers are the shadowy figures caught on surveillance cameras the night of the alleged attack.
Smollett made this up. What kind of impact is that going to have on other people who come forward to tell stories that are true about assault?
I think that's the real impact here.
If it is found that Smollett and these gentlemen did in some way perpetrate something that is not true, they ought to face accountability to the maximum.
It appears that Jussie Smollett tried to manufacture a hate crime to make Trump supporters look bad.
You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine, and you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail, and that will start today, right here, right now.
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not. That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I am not.
Okay.
I am not. I am innocent, and I am not. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this, and I am not. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself, and you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. Jail time. I am not.
Okay. Mr. Uche, let me inquire, are there any post-sentencing motions you care to present? Court is adjourned.
I am not. I am not. And I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.